Hello, my fellow students. My name is Nathaniel King, and today I'm going to tell you a little bit about mechatronic engineering, considering no one knows what it's like, at least from what I want to do in mechatronic engineering. So, my first question to you is, what do you think of mechatronic engineering? So, I asked some of my friends to, get their opinion on what they think it is. And here are just some of them. One says, robots. Actually, you're not far off there. Gears. I love this simple little answer. The other one has, I've never heard of it, so I know absolutely nothing, but it makes me think of robots. Bigger robots that you would put in a ring to fight each other. Oh yeah.
The grunt of punishment from dead metal. Little bit of slicing and dice. Oh, but how's that?
The vertical.
Oh, brilliant. Those fans, if the judges says minimum is too long, it's out, and that certainly is our show shot gone. The first machine in Robot Wars the Seventh Wars out of the arena, and shell shot in this heat. Something's come off again. Now where's that come from?
So if you the first thought you really had was robot fightings or Transformers,
My name is Optimus Prime.
then you're actually not far off. Here's a little diagram to show what mechatronics really is. It's a whole lot of everything. You could call it the jack of all trades, really. It has mechanical engineering, electronics, computer engineering, telecommunications and engineering, system engineering, and control engineering. Now, a little bit of history of this issue. The name comes from an English-Japanese word play called I am not pronouncing that, but it's a Japanese-made English word. As we do with Spanish, hola, como está, kapete badabu, whatever, and was created by Tetsuro Mori, another engineer at Yaskawa Electric Corporation, a Japanese word which is very hard to pronounce, so I probably butchered it. Anyway, they had it trademarked in 1971 and released it to the public. We could have called it robotics just as easily, because they're pretty much one and the same thing. But why not, right? With a wide variety, one would learn. Where would you go? Where would you start, really? With this jack of all trades, you can pretty much start anywhere and gain training as you go along. Because there's so much into it, you really have the basic knowledge of just about everything you need. Mechatronics can also be called robotics. Rovers is a prime example of mechatronics and AI technology mixed in together. And so, with all that knowledge of what mechatronics is, what do I want to do with it? I am going to go into the R&D world for space exploration technology and what I like to call human living, which involves, phones, computers, the new Google Home stuff, etc., etc. Just kind of making life a little bit more cool and exciting, where you can get up and say, "Oh, I have a robot." There is a company already trying to do this, which is called AT&T. I've not heard of them. Here is their mission statement. We're building on decades of scientific research to make artificial intelligence accessible to everyone. We are dedicated to bringing consumers robotics into everyday life. Cool, huh? They have already done this with a robot called Cosmo. And are continuing to mess around with this technology by letting us, the consumers, mess with this technology as well. Many of what Cosmo can do was made by those who bought him at Best Buy or just showed a YouTube video saying, "Hey, here's what I can do with him." Yeah, I geek out a lot about this stuff, so we're going to try to roll it on here. I just wanted to show you a little bit something of what mechatronics is and what it is getting more involved into, which is artificial intelligence technology. First, what is AI technology? A scientist named John McCarthy first came up with the idea in 1955 and described it as every aspect of learning or any other feature of intelligence can in principle be so precisely described that a machine can be made to simulate it. An attempt will be made to find how to make machines use language from abstractions and concepts, solve kinds of problems now reserved for humans, and improve themselves. So, where do we see this? Like I was saying, we could also see this in rovers, in Siri, in Cortana, in Google, in fact. There's a lot of AI technology out there that is already being used and practiced with. However, AI technology is not so far where it can talk or simulate human thought. Many people have already tried to have an AI write down a movie, but it's pretty jumbled up, so I'm going to leave you to Google that kind of stuff. But John McCarthy also described aspects of AI. Number 1, simulating higher function of the human brain. Number 2, programming a computer to use general language. Number 3, arranging hypothetical neurons in a manner so that they can form concepts. And number 4, a way to determine and measure problem complexity. 5, self-improvement. 6, abstraction, defined as the quality of dealing with ideas than events. 7, randomness and creativity, from flying drones to rovers on Mars. There are also 2 different kinds of AI. 1, strong AI, and if you guessed it right, 2 is weak AI. The strong AI simulates the human brain and gives us insight on how the brain works. Weak AI operates like the human brain, but does not give us a look into the human brain. Okay, so a lot of information I just threw out there about what these kind of things are. So what do I want to do with this? Space exploration technology and human living. Technology has skyrocketed in the last few years, so much so that we can hardly come up with laws, surprisingly enough, when new technology surfaces. Remember what they were like when drones became available to the public? Watch some vloggers, see how much they get into trouble because they use drones a lot in the wrong areas and don't know about it. Usually, but it was pretty bad because no one knew what they were and how we can actually use them. As of right now, we are in our own STEAM age, machine age, golden age of where technology can help us develop as a human race and explore and discover more of our world. We can use these technologies to help better life and possibly human relationships. We can already contact each other from different sides of the world and from space. My thought process is humans do not evolve unless something major is happening. The 2 biggest things that make something major happen is in war or exploration. This is why I want to focus on the exploration and innovation of the new fast-growing field of space exploration technology and human living technology. As a soldier in the US Army, just seeing those who have seen war, you can tell it's not a fun thing. Instead of going that route, I hope to lead humanity to a more peaceful evolution. The only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. Edmund Burke. Above anything else, there are things waiting to be discovered. We just need to discover them. And I want to be the one to discover them or help along that process.